Now let me guess, you're on your smartphone looking to save some money by changing the rear diff fluid in your Can-Am yourself. Well, good news, man, I have just the video for you. So just kick back, crack a cold one, and let's talk about it.
I'd like to welcome you if you're new to the channel. I'm Danny with Escape Powersports, and today we're going to be expanding on our maintenance and upgrade how-to video series for your Can-Am UTV. And in this video, we're going to be showing the step-by-step procedure on how to change the rear diff fluid in this Can-Am Commander. Should be a pretty quick and easy one-beer job, so let's get started.
So for this job, BRP suggests we change the rear diff, also known as the final drive, fluid every 2,000 miles or as a part of the 100-hour service under normal trail conditions. They also mentioned to bump that up to every 50 hours under muddy, dusty, or severe conditions. But it really don't hurt to do it even more often than that since it's such an easy 20-minute job. And feel free to pause the video here to see the tools, parts, and beers required to get this job done. So I chose to go with BRP's $45 bottle of XPS oil while we document a complete 100-hour service, but there are other very popular, more affordable GL5 synthetic gear oils that meet BRP's requirements for this rear diff, so I'll be sure to link both Mobil 1's full synthetic and Royal Purple's 75W140 in the description below. With all the maintenance interval, differential capacity, and oil type information out of the way, let's get this easy job started by lifting up the dump bed and locating the 8mm Allen fill plug. And with the bed up, you should see it just behind the axle on the lower driver's side of the rear diff. And I found with the tight access on this job to be a situation where the $2 Allen socket from the hardware store and a couple extensions work much better than a traditional Allen wrench. With our fill plug located, we can slide our 8mm Allen socket and at least 9 inches of extensions attached to it through the hole where the axle goes and have a straight and easy path to remove the fill plug. And I like to remove the fill plug first for two important reasons. First being it'll help the oil drain out more smoothly and thoroughly. And second, and probably more importantly, in the event the fill plug is stripped or we can't get it out for some reason, we won't drain out all our precious lubrication without a way to refill it. We also want to make sure the rubber O-ring comes out with the fill plug, and I'm sure BRP would suggest we replace it every change, but this one looks fine with no cracks, rips, or tears, so I'll just reuse it. With our fill plug out, now it's time to locate it and remove the drain plug to drain this differential's oil.
On ramps here to see if I can show you that drain plug. So we come in under the bottom, and there's a nice hole in the skid plate here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's your 5mm drain plug right there, right below the diff. And on this 2015, it's a 5mm Allen head.
And once we've laid eyes on that drain plug, we can grab our drain bucket and crawl under the machine to remove that drain plug. And this is another situation where a 5mm Allen socket seemed to do the trick just a hair better than a traditional 5mm Allen wrench. And this fluid looks fine, but if yours is all black, burnt looking, or all murky like water's gotten into the rear diff, it wouldn't hurt to add some fresh fluid into the fill hole with the drain plug out to try and flush any contaminants out of this differential. And the drain plug also has a rubber O-ring that will need to be inspected and replaced if necessary. And once all the oil is drained out and it's stopped dripping, we can reinstall the drain plug. And from my research, this drain plug only needs between 2 to 5 foot-pounds of torque, which ain't much force at all, y'all. So I was sure to spare myself some misery by just threading it in my hand and only grabbing and choking up on the ratchet for that last 1/8 turn or so. Over-tightening could strip the head of the plug in there forever, or worse, ruin the threads in the diff housing itself. And only grabbing and choking up on the ratchet for that last 1/8 turn or so. Comes time to fill it. There's no real easy way to get a funnel on that fill hole, even if you came in the way you did with the ratchet. It's not really going to reach. So we're going to look around for some tubing of some sort and see if we can't make a flexible funnel to get our fluid in there. And I did end up finding some flexible tubing on this old cheap siphon that would fit in the fill hole. So I just cut off about 8 inches of that tubing and jammed it on the end of the funnel to make getting fresh fluid in there a lot easier. I also find adding some tubing to the bottle itself also works good. So with our funnel made, we can begin adding our 280 milliliters of 75W140 synthetic gear oil. This 75W140 is the same oil we use for the transmission fluid change in this Commander, and that's also a really easy job, especially when you're already doing an engine oil change. So I'll be sure to leave the link to the full Commander maintenance playlist in the description where we already have step-by-step videos for both of those jobs. And again, of course the $45 bottle of XPS is recommended, but we can also get away with 280 milliliters of any full synthetic 75W140 API GL5 gear oil, like the two popular options also linked in the description. And I commandeered this measuring cup from the kitchen, But in the end, I found just setting the bottle on a level surface and using the marks already there on the side of the bottle to be the most accurate and precise way of measuring the prescribed 280 milliliters. I also believe BRP uses a fill it till it spills setup on this rear diff because the oil level appeared to be just below the fill plug after adding our 280 milliliters. But comment below how many milliliters your diff takes before it spills when you do this job. So with the correct type and amount of gear oil added, all that's left to do is reinstall our 8mm Allen fill plug. And I believe torque specs for the fill plug to be in the neighborhood of 15 foot-pounds, so a little more than the drain plug, but still not a whole lot. And I almost forgot to mention it never hurts to spray off the area around the fill and drain plug with some degreaser and hose off the mess to make checking for leaks down the road easier. So I really hope you found some of this rear fluid diff change information helpful, and if you did, do me a quick favor and give the video a thumbs up so I'll know I'm on the right track here. And that's only beer number 95 on my way to finishing the Escape Powersports 1000 Beer Challenge, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the maintenance and upgrade videos coming out in this Commander series. And as always, if I missed anything or you have any thoughts or suggestions on how to improve these videos, or really any comments on this rear diff fluid change in general, please leave a comment in the section below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to welcome you if you're new to the channel. I'm Danny with Escape Powersports. I really want to thank y'all for watching, and as always, we'll see y'all on the trail.